My name's Mark Freedman, and I've been into audio for many years. I started when I was about 9, and I'm 60 years old, so I've been at it, quite a while. And I've worked with KS on professional sound installations, like movie theaters and other such things. And I've also worked with recording studios. I've heard the different monitors in different studios being used, like Alesis monitors and KRK monitors, etc. And for example, there was one gentleman who had a set of KRK monitors that had done recordings in his home studio. He was very proud of the recordings, and he did a good job as far as he knew. However, we brought a set of KS ADM, I guess now it would be the 20, but it was the ADM2 speakers to him. And he put in one of his recordings, and I heard distortion on the female track on the thing. And I didn't say anything to him about it, but after a while he says, that sounds kind of funny. And so we left him with these speakers overnight. And the next morning, he hadn't gone to sleep. He actually stayed up all night, listened to every piece of recording material that he had ever done, found out how much he thought that he could correct. Let me see, he worked for, what was the name of the company that does the digital design? So he worked with this company, and he represented their software that's used to correct anomalies in a recording. So he had always figured that he could correct any mistakes that he made in a recording by using the software. So when he heard our speakers, he listened to all of his recordings again through the night, and the next day he had these dark circles under his eyes, but he looked really happy. And he says that he had realized for the first time in his life that that you cannot correct a recording with software, and that he had heard distortions and defects in his recordings, which he had no idea even existed after using the ADM2 speakers, the studio monitors. That was a very interesting experience. But he was actually, he looked terrible because he had no sleep, but he was very happy. And so that's one of the experiences I've had with the ADMs. Also, I had other experiences with them too. I would listen to a friend of mine had these monitors. I think they were made by Alesis. I'm not totally sure, but I think they were Alesis monitors. And he had made a recording that he was very proud of, and it was a very good recording. And I heard the recording on the speaker, on the ADMs, and I asked him who made the monitors, because there was something wrong. There was something happening with the mid-range where I couldn't hear it. And because the original manufacturers of his monitors had punched up the mid-range, so the mid-range was turned down in his master recording. So then when I heard them, I don't know if I told him who made his monitors, but it was something like that. I said, well, that sounds like you have these monitors or something. And he said, well, how would you know that? And I says, well, because the mid-range is gone. Oh, I know, he had NS10s. That's what it was. He had NS10s.
Mackie.
Huh?
It was Mackie.
It was Mackie?
Yeah.
It was Frank.
I remember the story.
Yeah. It was Mackie. I can't remember. Okay, so it was Mackie. He had Mackie monitors. He loved the monitors. That's what happened. I couldn't. It was funny. Anyways, so that's what happened with them. That's what happens when you hear the actual. That's when you hear the actual recording, as though you're actually listening to the. It's like you're listening to the electronic image for accuracy when you're listening to a set of ADM studio monitors. So that was my experience with that.